Where's Jack? Where's Jack? Where is he? Jack, I want to see you. Great job, Jack. Thank you. What a job you do. You know, we have an incredible thing. We're always talking about the fake news and the bad, but we have guys, and these are the guys who should be getting Pulitzers.
All right, folks, we're back. Human Events Daily, Real America's Voice. You can see the White House showing a little bit of sun up there, a little bit of clouds opening up, just like we saw yesterday afternoon over the Charlie Kirk memorial service that was held for the Rose Garden. Folks, cold weather will be here before you know it. And you know what I realized the other day? If the power goes out when it's really cold, I have no way to keep myself and my family warm. Isn't that crazy? You could actually freeze. But then I heard about the Vesta off-grid space heater from our friends at My Patriot Supply. It's a space heater that doesn't use electricity. It runs on something called canned heat, which is an indoor safe fuel. With a Vesta stashed in my closet, I know we can keep warm no matter what. And it doubles as a stove to boil water or cook food, which is actually pretty cool. Now, the best part is you can get a Vesta and a bunch of other free gifts when you order the Winter Prep Special from My Patriot Supply. Just go to mypatriotsupply.com/Jack and you'll see everything that's included. This offer will not last long, and neither will the nice fall weather. So go to mypatriotsupply.com/Jack today. That's mypatriotsupply.com/Jack. And they're actually right about the weather. I was just remarking on that here in yesterday at the Rose Garden when it really was this truly remarkable moment, one of the most beautiful moments that I've seen at the White House. And I've been there many times. It's, you know, not all the time, but certainly lately with the administration, that it was remarkable, truly remarkable. And you see how everything that President Trump has done to remake the Rose Garden. So the bushes are there, the roses are not obviously in bloom since it's fall, but the tile, the stonework that's been done on the patio out there, it was gorgeous. There were seats, but you know, many of us just kind of stood in the back. And you know, what can I say? Charlie was always the last guy who would want to talk about his own birthday. Just saying that to the Congresswoman. He didn't like to bring it up. He didn't like to really brag on himself. He didn't like to take time to listen to his own accolades, because he'd be sitting there saying, what's the next thing? What can we get after? What's the next problem we can solve? What's the next challenge we can accomplish? And so to take that time and, you know, really talk about Charlie's legacy. And I just got to say, it still feels really weird to talk about his legacy or talk about Charlie at all in the past tense. It's not something that you know, I don't think I'll ever really get used to doing it. I'm just going to say. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, it's sort of been that kind of return. You try to return to normal, but you can't, because your previous normal doesn't exist anymore. And you have to find a new baseline, or as they call it, a new normal. And I was on with Dr. Drew, you know, a couple weeks ago. It's really been a blur, but he said one of the ways to deal with grief is lean into it. So you act like you don't act like it doesn't exist. Don't try to squelch it or bottle it up or anything like that, but lean into it. But at the same time, you want to find a mission, you want to find a goal, you want to find an objective, and you want to stay working and stay active and stay busy. And that's how Charlie lived his life. That's how Charlie lived every moment of every day, squeezing everything that he could get out of every day. And little did we know that Charlie would be doing that right up until the moment that he gave his life for his country and for this movement. And so to receive the highest award of valor for a civilian was remarkable, but beyond deserving, absolutely beyond deserving. Charlie lived and died for American freedom, for American virtue, for God, of course, putting God at the center of everything that he did. And, you know, I could sit here for hours and hours and days and talk about how deserving of this award he was, and how, you know, it's amazing that the shirt that Charlie was wearing, that ubiquitous freedom shirt. I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, and so that's kind of become in many ways the new MAGA hat. It's the new, it's a white shirt with the word freedom across it, and it's a simple shirt, the way that Charlie liked. He had those one word or two words, that was pretty much all you'd see. And it's the medal of freedom. He died with the word freedom emblazoned on his chest. And that's what America is all about. America's always been about freedom. And Erica gave this just incredible speech yesterday. Very moving to be there. She talked about freedom. She talked about how important it was to Charlie, how much it meant to him. And I think in many ways, probably the most personal speech that I've seen Erica give, and I've been there in person for all three of the, I guess, three speeches that she's done now, and this clearly the most personal. Someone else who was there yesterday also joins us now. It's Secretary Brooke Rollins of the Department of Agriculture. Secretary Rollins, how are you?
Hey, Jack, it's so good to be on with you. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you, and thank you to the entire administration for everything that you did yesterday for Charlie, for having us there, and really being able to honor Charlie in such an incredible way.
It was, Jack, I don't know that you and I have ever talked about this, and in a way it's remarkable now. I sort of thought I had this, there were a handful of us with this very deep relationship with Charlie. I met him when he was 18. We talked about building policy organizations. I was in the midst of building my Texas group, and this was a while ago. But now I realize after Charlie's death, how many people he had those deep, hundreds of us. But the cool thing, and I know you've been talking about the event yesterday, which was remarkable, but that event yesterday, and then again a few weeks ago in Arizona, was to have basically our entire cabinet who all sit together, who we all pray together, we all, held hands and cried together when Charlie was murdered. But to see that sort of beautiful love and to hear, I only wish you, Jack, and the team and even Erica and, everybody could hear the stories that we in the cabinet talk about him and tell about him all the time. But yeah, yesterday was beautiful. I thought, listening to talk about Erica's speech, I thought, as not surprising, but she was remarkable. And one thing she said, I only wish I'd had my pen and paper, I would have taken down a bunch more quotes, but when I remembered is she said, Charlie ran the race, he kept the faith, and now he wears the crown of a righteous martyr. And I thought, my goodness, that just sort of sums it all up, doesn't it? It was incredible.
Well, and I think too that if you don't have God, which Charlie, of course, had, which Erica, of course, has, which as you just mentioned, so many in the cabinet have, there's nowhere to go when something as horrifying as this happens, and that's exactly where you need to go. And we've seen, of course, the outpouring of, I think, more people than ever are what was it? Bible sales are up, and church attendance is up, and much of this is up. But and as wonderful as that is, and as thrilled Charlie would be to know that, I think it's also this understanding that it's necessary, because if you don't have that, and I feel so bad for people who don't have that in their life, because it's absolutely necessary in times like this.
Boy, it sure is. Jack, was it September the 10th? I'm losing all my days here.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
it September the 10th that he was assassinated?
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was on an airplane when I got the news, and we have a text string that's just social with the cabinet ladies. And so Pam Bondi and Kelly Loeffler and Linda McMahon, it's literally usually, hey, is anyone else wearing a white suit to the cabinet meeting tomorrow so we don't match? That's kind of, does anybody have a good place to get their hair done? That's normally what it's, I had my daughter just made the tennis team, everybody, or my son got yell leader at Texas State. Like, that's normally what it is. But I was on a plane, and I got the first text from one of my kids, I think, who said, Mom, I think your friend Charlie got shot. And we all have these stories, but immediately, I haven't talked about this yet, actually, it's the first time. Immediately, the ladies, the 6 of us on the cabinet, that's Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi, Kelly Loeffler, Linda McMahon, Christy Nome, Lori Chavez Drimmer, myself, 7. And it's quite a crew. We're all best friends basically at this point, but we just started, trying to process. Has anyone heard? If we heard he's alive, and you know this, Jack. I mean, there was
Right.
for about 15 or 20 minutes, well, he's in critical condition. And so you're just praying, you're with your friends, you're trying to process. I'm on a plane.
Secretary Rollins, we are coming up on a quick break. Can I put a pin in that right now? Because I want to hear this story. We all want to hear this story, and we're going to hear it in just a minute here on Human Events Daily when we come right back with Real America's Voice.